Welcome back to another explainer. Right, so today we're going on a bit of an investigative mission. If you're thinking about bringing a Norwegian Forest Cat into your life, finding the right breeder is, without a doubt, the absolute most critical decision you're ever going to make. It literally dictates the whole shebang, from your future kitten's lifelong genetic health to their everyday temperament. So, grab your magnifying glass, because we're going to learn how to vet these breeders like seasoned detectives.
Okay, let's take a quick look at our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the crucial first step, verifying the paper trail, evaluating cattery conditions, spotting serious red flags, and finally, the long-term partnership.
Let's dive right into Section 1, the crucial first step, empowering your search.
To really empower your search, you've got to realize what's actually at stake here. You are basically vetting the architect of your future cat's foundation. They're the ones determining the hidden health testing, the absolutely vital early socialization, and whether you're going to have genuine support down the line. So you need a strict 8-point checklist. We're talking verifying TICA or FIFe registration, evaluating the physical environment, scrutinizing contracts. This right here is your essential detective toolkit for separating the genuine, responsible breeders from the problem sellers.
Look, before you hand over a single dime for a deposit, you have to look past those incredibly cute kitten photos and recognize the stark contrast we're dealing with. A transactional retail scam is going to push for immediate availability and hand you totally unverifiable paperwork. A reputable breeder, though, they're running a relationship-based program. They'll probably have a 6 to 18-month waitlist, verifiable registry lookups, and, get this, they will actually interview you before making a decision.
Moving right along to Section 2, verifying the paper trail, following the hard data.
In this world, verbal claims mean absolutely nothing. I mean it, nothing, without the paper trail to back them up. The crucial point here is independent verification. Don't just take a seller's word for it. A real professional won't just hand you some fancy printed certificate that, anyone could mock up on a computer. They're going to give you a specific registration number that you can independently punch into public directories like TICA or FIFe to verify their status yourself.
Now, health testing is where the truth really comes out. You absolutely must demand DNA testing documentation for GSD IV. This is a very serious metabolic disease, and it's completely exclusive to the Norwegian Forest Cat breed. Reputable breeders? They'll document and share these specific DNA results for both parents without hesitation.
And equally vital is HCM, or hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. This is a major cardiac health consideration for this breed. You want to look for breeders who do periodic echocardiogram screening. Notice I said periodic, not just a one-and-done check. Honestly, breeders who treat these cardiac tests as optional extras, approach them with extreme caution.
Okay, an incredibly important milestone to keep on your radar is the year 2008. Why? Because that's the exact year when Popheads, which is this independent breeder-run registry, began officially tracking this critical GSD IV health data. Breeders who consistently submit their results to Popheads are showing a massive commitment to transparency. They're going way above and beyond what any single national registry requires of them.
All right, Section 3, evaluating cattery conditions, interrogating the environment.
We've checked the paper trail, so now let's investigate the actual physical environment where these kittens are raised. This early setup is just as critical as their genetics. A legitimate operation raises kittens right smack in the middle of an active home environment. You actually want them surrounded by normal household chaos, regular human contact, maybe other pets. That home-based socialization directly builds a confident temperament. On the flip side, if kittens are kept in isolated cattery rooms, totally separated from daily family life, that is a massive warning sign. You might intuitively assume that bigger is always better, but scale absolutely does not equal quality. A tiny, small hobby breeder operating out of a private home might actually have the longest waitlist. Meanwhile, a larger, established cattery will just have a more structured application process. What actually matters across both of these models are those core standards: verifiable health and transparent living conditions.
So how do we dig deeper? What specific questions should you be asking the breeder during your investigation? Direct conversation reveals things that documents simply can't, so you've got to be prepared to interrogate the breeder a bit to uncover their genuine practices.
Here is your questioning toolkit. Ask them point blank. How many litters has this queen had? What's your specific socialization protocol? Do you offer in-person or video tours?
Asking these highly specific questions gives you such meaningful insight into their true priorities. And remember, a genuine breeder is actually going to welcome this interrogation because they're proud of their program and have absolutely nothing to hide.
On to Section 4, spotting serious red flags, recognizing the scams.
Even with all the right questions and a keen eye, you've got to be hyper-vigilant about the definitive red flags that scream scam or point to a purely commercial seller. Keep these immediate warning signs top of mind, okay? Prices that are significantly below the typical market range, a sudden reluctance to share health testing documents, selling multiple different breeds at once, unverifiable registration numbers. If you see any of these, or if you feel pressured to complete your payment quickly without time to ask your questions, walk away entirely. Seriously, no exceptions.
Now here's a totally surprising fact that often catches buyers off guard. The ultimate green flag? It's when the breeder starts interrogating you. Yep, if they're asking detailed questions about your living situation, your past pet experience, and what you're expecting, that is a massive indicator that they actually care about making a genuine match.
Look, this whole process requires a tremendous amount of patience. On day one, you're doing your registry verifications. But expecting a 6 to 18-month waitlist? That's perfectly normal. It reflects the deliberate, responsible limits placed on ethical breeding. And finally, you have that crucial 14 to 30-day initial health guarantee window after your kitten actually comes home.
Let's hit our final section. Section 5, the long-term partnership beyond the sale.
I want us to completely reframe this entire process. You aren't just buying a pet, you are entering a lifelong partnership with this breeder. Because the highest concentration of Norwegian Forest Cat catteries is still over in Scandinavia and continental Europe, a lot of buyers end up working internationally. You've got to plan your budget and timeline for some pretty complex international transport logistics right from day one. Factor in health certificates, import quarantine, and professional pet transport costs early in your search.
You also need to heavily scrutinize the paperwork. Carefully read the contract terms covering genetic conditions and that 14 to 30-day initial vet check window we talked about. A trustworthy breeder will patiently sit down and explain their written health guarantee in plain English, detailing exactly what genetic conditions are covered and exactly how long you're protected.
Another really excellent data point to look for is show participation. Now, while it isn't strictly required to be a responsible breeder, presenting cats at TICA or FIFe sanctioned shows provides independent verification of breed standards. A breeder who actively shows their cats is demonstrating deep community involvement and a real, long-term commitment to the breed's overall welfare.
The absolute best benchmark for a genuine operation is this right here. Reputable breeders view the buyer relationship as extending well beyond the initial sale, remaining available as a resource throughout the cat's life. This captures the pure essence of a genuine operation. They want those photo updates. They want to be your lifeline for behavioral and health questions as your kitten grows up.
So it all comes down to this provocative question. Are you just buying a kitten, or are you choosing a trusted partner for the next 15 years? Take your time. Compare multiple catteries. Don't let cute photos override your objective investigation, and always demand the transparency that this incredible breed deserves. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and hey, happy sleuthing!